like button, hit that subscribe button. The master manipulator Kanan, aka we don't know what his real last name is. Is it Stark? Is it Howard? We don't know. Well, we back in New York City, and I really only got like a legit hour, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. But you know how we got to start it off. New York City, man. Power was made here. R.I.P. to Kanan. R.I.P. to Cooper Sacks. R.I.P. to all the real ones. James St. Patrick. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I told you guys I was going to get back on here. We're going to get these lives cracking. I got a legit hour taking the family out to eat tonight. So, you know, we're going to go ahead and jump into this. Shout out to MovieBot. Of course, we're taking his tweets. There is nothing between me and MovieBot, y'all. So it's not me versus MovieBot. I'm just taking his tweets and we talking about his tweets and expanding on it. So today we got Kanan. Yesterday we did Tommy, and we actually found out that Tommy might not be the most loyal character in the Power universe after everything he did towards James St. Patrick. Tasha St. Patrick let her slide after she snitched and took the stand on him. Tariq St. Patrick, he stole from him. Yeah, all kinds of stuff told, all kinds of stuff. You know how it is. What up, Neek? Yeah, so we got old school Kanan in here. Since we wanted to do the original Power, we're going to start talking about some of the original characters. Um, Let me go ahead and jump into these tweets that MovieBot has. Let me see. All right, here we go. Ghost thread. The web of betrayal and manipulation. Ghost versus Kanan. Now, I always thought these two were very close. We know that once Kanan got out of prison, he was there because of who? Jamie St. Patrick. Once he got out, we started to see a different Kanan, we thought. But then we were all wrong about that. The whole time we were thinking that James was the good guy. But if you watch Raising Kanan with me, then you'll understand that Kanan never stood a chance from the day he was born all the way up until the OG Power. We're seeing how his mother has been raising him. So we got to really look at Kanan more as a victim and not the suspect. Kanan never had an opportunity to be a child. From the age of 5 or 6 years old, we seen him with a sock and batteries. This is why he's assaulting and getting battery charges as an adult, because he didn't have a chance. Raquel, damn you. Damn you, Raquel. So when we look at this, we got to take it with a grain of salt, because Kanan, he was never nurtured. He was never loved. That's what they always say about Cain. They say, Cain, he does what he does to Effie because Monet wouldn't hug him. Monet didn't love him. But why don't we give that same respect to Kanan? We watched Kanan 2 full seasons, him running around New York City, not knowing who his real daddy was, not knowing that the dope game isn't somewhere a young black man should be. But guess what? Guess what? We didn't see that when the original Power dropped. And that's what MovieBot is going off of, the OG Power. But we, with hindsight, we know that Kanan never had a chance. Never had a chance from a young jit. Never. We never seen anything good. The one good thing that happened to Kanan as a child was going down to Virginia, and his mama stripped it away from him. She stripped it away from him and put him in the dope game. He came back from Virginia. They had a whole apartment complex. Look, honey, snipers up there. Kanan was a victim from the beginning, and we don't give him the proper respect. And we just say that Kanan is a madman. We can't blame Kanan. We can't blame Kanan. But let's go ahead and jump into this. Shout out to my dog, Brillo. Brillo, I still drop the link if you want to jump up here. What up, Ellie? My girl Neek in here. She jumping in here on a Friday night. I'll go to link. I'm gonna be doing this more often, you know what I'm saying, just collecting tweets. And once the series actually starts back up, I'll be doing more, you know, saying more personal stuff outside of the show. Of course, I have my breakdowns and theories and everything, but we'll start be going onto to Twitter and stuff, or I guess you should say threads now. All right. Number one, let's see. The twisted bond. Ghost and Kanan, once brothers in the drug game, became entangled in a treacherous web of betrayal and manipulation. Their relationship was built on trust, but it quickly unraveled, leaving a trail of deceit and broken alliances. A twisted bond. Movie Bot is a 10 out of 10 on this one. Now, what I want to know is where where did this all begin? We know that Kanan is up and coming, the victim, the fatherless child. Well, we don't even know if him and Howard are really going to get together and actually make this father and son relationship work. Because in the dope game, if a cop is your father, man, we can't fuck with you, Kanan. But where did the relationship go sour between Ghost and Kanan? We know that Kanan was in jail. We know that Ghost put him in jail, but for what and why? Was it that James St. Patrick was maybe jealous of Kanan? Maybe he seen Kanan running the dope game a little too viciously and said, "No, Kanan, back up, go to jail. I want to take over." Or maybe Kanan was just too hard on the kids. And that proves to us that James St. Patrick really wasn't built for this life. Exactly like Kanan's been telling us the whole time. What up, DeMarcus? But the twisted bond, Ghost and Kanan, once brothers in the drug game, became entangled in a treacherous web of betrayal. Who do you guys think betrayed who first? Was it Kanan betraying Ghost? Or was it Ghost betraying Kanan? See, that's where season 3 of Raising Kanan needs to come in and explain to us how big was Kanan? Pause. How big did he get in the dope game? We know that they say that they were corner boys. So did his mom Raquel lose everything and Kanan went out there and got it out the mud on his own and then brought in James and Tommy? And then Tommy got jealous of that because he didn't like the way Kanan was running it. See, there's a lot of unanswered questions when it comes to Ghost and Kanan. Now, what it leads me to believe is that James St. Patrick may have been the one that started the betrayal. I don't see Kanan at the young age of Kanan. I don't see him being the one to betray anybody. Who did he look up to? Believe it or not, he actually looked up to Scrap. Scrap was a real one. Scrap got killed. Scrap was loyal. So once he seen all this, I think once he brought James and Tommy in, he had a certain respect for him and realized that these two young brothers, they trying to work up under me. Because remember when he got out of jail, he was always against James. He fucked with Tommy. That's because James put him in jail. So I think that betrayal starts with Ghost. I know. We all love Ghost. But that's why y'all come to my channel, because I'm gonna give y'all the real. We got to start looking back at Ghost's tendencies, and Ghost was a jealous motherfucker. Yeah. Shout out to DeMarcus for the $5. He said, was Kanan mad at Ghost? Was he? Oh no, was Kanan mad that Ghost took his hustle, or was Kanan mad that Ghost was more successful at the hustle? See, I can see it both ways, DeMarcus. He's probably mad that he took the hustle, and he was probably mad that he was more successful. But all of that stems from James getting them locked up. You see what I'm saying? So, what was the issue for James to get them locked up? Was Kanan not letting them eat on the streets? Maybe James wanted to expand and do something else, and Kanan didn't want him to. But that's what makes me believe that James St. Patrick, yeah, he was our hero in the OG Power, but it looks like in Raising Kanan, we're going to find out that maybe Ghost was a little bitch when he was a kid, man. Of course, Kanan he has every right to be upset if going off like what DeMarcus is saying, because I agree with that. If he's mad that he took over his hustle, he only took over the hustle because Kanan got locked up because of James. So yeah, he would be mad that James took over. You got me locked up and took my spot. You see what I'm saying? So that's where Raising Kanan is going to come in and play. Hey, that's going to be pivotal because in my mind, I'm already thinking of a story that James St. Patrick ain't who we think he is. I've been telling y'all James St. Patrick's been a snitch since we first met him. Once we found out that Kanan was locked up over some shit that James did, I was already looking at him differently, but you guys know how it is. They always say, Mo, that's the OG power. We don't care. They told me that with Effie, so who cares? Ellie said, competition was the reason. See, at what point is the competition, though? If they were always up under Kanan, unless they got an outside connect, if damn, but that's not gonna be till like maybe season 5. I don't see I don't see James and Tommy coming in until like the end of 4, maybe 5. But if they were up under Kanan, the only way that there could be competition is if they were getting work from somebody else. Because as long as they're selling everything that Kanan is giving them, then there's no competition because Kanan is getting paid on the, you know what I'm saying, on the back. Nick said they're showing Ghost's true colors and depth. Dog, ever since James has died, we started to realize, man, this nigga, I already got him at another level. You know, shout out to my boy Brillo on my dog's channel. They do the simping and all that shit. I don't really do it too much over here, but I got James St. Patrick at the highest level of simping just because he's doing this shit after death. Everybody's still benefiting from him after death, man. This nigga James is something different. I believe Tasha wanted to take out Kanan because Ghost could become the biggest drug dealer in New York City. See, we didn't even factor in Tasha, and we know that her and Kanan didn't like each other at all. So maybe James told on Kanan to protect Tasha or something. Damn, raising Kanan, y'all need to come back around. We need to figure out some shit because we want to know, is James St. Patrick really like that? Maybe the manipulator is James St. Patrick and not Kanan. Because we know how Kanan was raised. He was raised by Raquel. He was manipulated his whole childhood. So that's just instilled in him. Do we think Kanan is Kane's real father? Nah, I don't think they got anything to do with it. I mean, maybe Monet knew something, like heard about Kanan, but I don't think they got any kind of relationship. And the math wouldn't work. That means she had Zeke, sent Zeke off down south. Kanan knocked her up, and then he went to jail? You know what I mean? Because Kane is only a year younger than Zeke. So I don't think that could play out. What up, Daria? All right, let's see what number 2 from Mr. Movie Bot. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button when you come on in here. All right, number 2. Number 2, Master Manipulator. Kanan, the puppet master, skillfully manipulated Ghost's emotions, and exploited his weaknesses. He knew how to push Ghost buttons, playing mind games and using calculated tactics to control him like a pawn on a chessboard. Master manipulator. See, I like where MovieBot's going with this. He's 2 for 2 right now. Kanan has that manipulator blood. The puppet master. I give him credit because remember, at one point, James, he was hesitant at fucking with Kanan. Of course, he didn't want Tariq around him and he didn't want Tommy around him. But Kanan was getting them to do enough to at least put him back in the game. Let it, you know what I'm saying? When you trying to get the swimming pool, is you know, you want to know if that water cold, you stick that big toe in there. Ooh, kind of cold. You got to pull that foot out. But James, he was keeping a distance from him, which leads us back to we need to know why he actually got him locked up. But as far as Kanan, we know how he did Tariq. He got Tariq to turn on his own dad. He even got Tommy to even contemplate leaving James to get back in the game all the way. Because, you know, James was trying to go legit. He knew how to push Ghost's buttons. And that's because he was around Ghost when he was little. So that's why I'm saying it has to be a conflict. And it had to be James, the one that flipped and switched sides. That's what I'm looking at it as. And that's one reason Kanan was coming back for James the way that he did. Does Tasha know who Breeze is? Hell, I don't even think Kanan really knows who Breeze is. At this point, we don't know who nobody is. I might be Breeze in season 6. We never know. Now they talking about Breeze might be in the next season because they showed like a picture on the of a plane tail. I don't know. But Master Manipulator, he definitely had a control over the whole family. Now Tasha, I think it was a little harder for him to get her to do what he wanted. But that leads us back to maybe James got him locked up because of Tasha to protect her. Now, controlling them as a pawn on the chessboard, I wouldn't say a pawn, maybe. Maybe like a rook or something, you know what I'm saying? A knight or something. I wouldn't say a pawn because James wasn't just going out there just moving straight. James was still making some moves. You know what I mean? So I can't say a pawn, but he did have him on that chessboard and was getting him to do what he needed. But of course, we know what happened to Kanan in the end. A horrible death, you know. They say a coward lives 1,000 lives. A soldier dies but once. Man, I think Kanan died about 2 or 3 times, to be honest with you. But as of right now, movie bot, yeah, you 2 for 2 with this. It's just when we gotta look at Kanan as a whole, though, man. It's just that childhood and seeing how he was raised. We gotta cut some slack. He wasn't that bad of a man. He was just raised wrong. He didn't get to experience a childhood. Boris said, I thought Kanan and Breeze had Ghost's father killed, and Kanan manipulated him to kill him or lied about his death. See, that's what I remember. Kanan and Breeze got rid of James's dad. So maybe that's one reason James told on him to go to jail. See, I'm still hung up on why did Kanan go to jail and why did James St. Patrick do that? But I mean, we know that James has a history of snitching and we've seen it. We just covered our eyes. I mean, we seen it, but we covered our eyes. We can't let James St. Patrick slide like that, especially with Tariq. Tariq having to graduate from college to get something. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. We know you didn't like Tariq like that, but come on. You're a manipulator too. But I definitely give Kanan the master manipulator just of how he had an effect and influence over a lot of characters, basically raising James and Tommy. Number 3, the deadly scheme. Kanan's manipulation began as he orchestrated the murder of Rala, Ghost's childhood friend and loyal ally. We gotta we gotta be careful on that word loyalty. Tommy last night showed us that word loyalty is getting stretched thin. Ghost's childhood friend and loyal ally. By twisting the truth and preying on Ghost's love for his family, Kanan coerced him into committing an unspeakable act. Hmm. There's something about the word loyalty in James St. Patrick. As my girl Neek said, the light that had been shedded on James after his death, you have to really wonder what is loyalty to James? How close was him and Rala? Now, I remember when Kanan killed Rala and James was upset about it. But this is no different than James telling Tommy about his dad, about Holly. You see what I'm saying? James is doing the same exact thing that Kanan is doing. They coerced him in committing an unspeakable act. We seen an unspeakable act in episode 1 in the basement of Club Truth. So when we look at James, we can't just keep giving him an out because he was the star of the show. He was our hero. James, he's a real asshole. When you really think about it, there's not one person because he was even screwing over Angela at some points. He He was manipulating her so he could get his way through it. And like Neek said, James is only loyal to himself. See, that's the thing. When we go back and we start looking at the characters and we look at them from the outside, we like, wait a minute. We love James season 1 through 6. But now we're looking at James like, wait a minute. As the young folk would say, you were the toxic one, brother. Of course, we know Tasha was worse than you, but geez Louise, James, you're out here too. And see, we only know one part of the story. Once we figure out why he was arrested and why James told on Kanan, the manipulation actually started between these two before he even got out to orchestrate to kill Arala. The manipulation in the scheming came from James St. Patrick before the OG power, the end of raising Kanan. You see what I'm saying? See, we only knew James from, damn, James is a businessman, a family's man, in a dope game. No, 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 no. This is deeper than rap, y'all. This is deeper than rap. Ghost took out Rolla because Kane manipulated Ghost to believe that Rolla was hitting the organization from the inside. Exactly. Ghost is actually the asshole. Damn, James. Damn. Hey, movie bot, thank you for these tweets because this really got us looking at James St. Patrick a little sideways. Like, damn. This whole time we thought Tate was the bad guy and it was really James St. Patrick. Hell, we seen how he manipulated Rashad Tate. Remember the fake robbery and everything? Kanan, I like to apologize to you. You've really been a victim this whole time, and we've been thinking you were the bad guy. This whole time, your life has been a lie. This isn't who really. This isn't really who Kanan is supposed to be. Damn. Kanan's manipulation begun as he orchestrated the murder of Rolla. Who who do you guys think has more manipulation over each other? Is it James right now or is it Kanan? Just from what we've seen on these three. 'Cause I know he's just giving us, just a little brief boom boom. This is a moment in time. But when you look at it, James James already had the upper hand on Kanan. Just from Kanan getting out of jail and you having the club, you were already doing better than him, but you were still trying to keep Ghost down. I mean, keep Kanan down. What did Kanan do? No loyalty with the St. Patrick. It's all about power in the drug game, politics, and business. Dog. I don't know, man. I gotta see another season of Raising Kanan. Here we go. Here we go. Number four. Number four. Two birds, one stone. As Kanan manipulated Ghost into killing Rala, not only did Ghost kill an ally who would have been opposed to Kanan upon his release, Kanan figured Ghost still had full trust in him. Never, ever. If a St. Patrick says anything about trust to you, don't believe him. This altered the course of the rest of the series. Hmm. Kanan figured Ghost still had full trust in him. Maybe. I won't say full trust. I put it at like an 80% because Ghost was moving like, all right, I'm gonna make sure you good, Kanan. We're gonna get you right. But once he started talking to Tommy and realizing that Tommy has more allegiance to Ghost, I'm thinking that's when he started to notice that, man, this nigga Ghost, I gotta get rid of this fool. I gotta do something to get him about the way because he ain't moving right. Kanan said Ghost was a master chess player, better than him. Rainey and Yaz are the only loyal St. Patrick's. Yeah, I definitely give Yaz that. I don't know about Raina. I had to go back and watch Raina. I didn't really watch her as closely as I should because she was a child, but I realized in the Power universe, it don't matter. Kid, infant, elder, it don't matter. They are all suspects. The only person that has been removed from my suspect board and will never ever go up there is Yaz St. Patrick. See, well, I gotta all right. Let me relook at this. What's up, Cheryl? So movie by I think his manipulation is saying that Kanan was doing the manipulation on Ghost. So I think that's how his tweets are being laid out as Kanan being the manipulator. But my whole thing is amongst the two, yes, Kanan was manipulating Ghost, but that doesn't negate the fact that Ghost was manipulating every single character. There's not one character that Ghost wasn't trying to manipulate, even when it came to Stern, Lobos. He was doing whatever he could. James is probably the master manipulator. Yeah, Kanan was doing his thing, but Kanan was only oh shit, I can't say Kanan was only doing that to one character. 'Cause everybody Kanan came in touch with, he was manipulating them too. Hmm. Damn, I don't know. That's tough, man. Right now, I say Kanan, he manipulated more people, but when it comes to the manipulation between the two of them, I say it's about even. Because Kanan wasn't doing well. I mean, he did get the Roller kill. He wasn't really manipulating James so much because James already knew who Kanan was. You know what I mean? He was kind of taking a step back, like, nah, I ain't doing that. Hey, Tommy, stop fucking with him. Tariq, stop messing with Kanan. Because he kind of knew, like, hey, what was going on. But that's what makes me believe that when they were younger, Kanan was probably on their ass. They were probably out here fucking up. We seen that old trailer that they dropped, and we seen them two goofy niggas in high school, man. They wasn't out there moving no work like that. Kanan was probably whooping their ass because they was fucking up on the re-up. Oh yeah, DeMarcus. Kanan didn't just manipulate Tariq. Kanan turned Tariq into his son. I don't know how that's possible, but that's what happened there. And like I said, man, that's why James wanted to keep him away from the family because he already knew what Kanan was on. Kanan, man, Kanan ain't no good. Look, and we were just talking about this too. Let me see. The turn of tides, number 5. Kanan's ultimate weapon was Tariq, Ghost's own son. He used Tariq as a pawn, leveraging the emotional bond between father and son to further manipulate Ghost and turn him against his own interest. It was a devastating portrayal that cut deep. Turn of tides. Well, let's be honest. At this point, none of us cared about Tariq. None of us liked Tariq. We were this stupid kid. He's going against his father. So we know how that turned out, and it definitely was bad for Tariq, and it got Tariq to believe all this extra nonsense. But I think all is fair in this game, right? Do you guys think that Kanan took it too far trying to manipulate James' son into turning into his own son? Or was that just a part of the game? I mean, James did start this by getting them locked up. You know what I mean? Like, and at this point, knowing who Kanan was, can we really not Kanan? Say, man, Kanan, that's what Kanan does. If the story is going to go like this, whenever Breeze shows up, Breeze he basically raised Kanan, so that's all he knows. Unique is about to be in the house. Unique a big time dope dealer. And I want to see Unique actually give Kanan some pointers. See, when we read these tweets, we got raising Kanan to go off of now. So This whole childhood from Kanan, this is all he known is dope dealers coming in his life and telling him different shit. This is what you need to do. Don't do this. Do this. Don't listen to your mom. Fuck the police. Same thing he did with Tariq. This is what you need to do. Here goes Celine. Sip this. Fuck the police. Who cares what your daddy say, man? Fuck your mama too. So is this really Kanan manipulating, or is this Kanan? This is all Kanan knows. You remember that little innocent kid Kanan start? Remember he went home, mama, they whooping on me at school. And she got a sock and put some batteries in there. You remember that Kanan, that innocent kid, the little chunky kid, little adorable kid, man. The kid didn't want no problem. Mama, they was whooping on me. She said, you can't come into this house crying. You gotta go whoop some ass. He never had a chance, y'all. He never had a chance. This is all he knows. He had one opportunity to get away. He had two, actually. He's supposed to go to grandma's house, but he stayed. He went down to auntie's house. His mama brought him back, told this nigga shoot this gun. Pow, bullet. It's out there. It's gonna always be chasing after you. He never stood a chance. So is this manipulation? Yes. But he ain't know no better. He didn't know no better. How am I supposed to learn how to ride a bicycle if ain't nobody here to teach me? How? I can't. How Tariq was supposed to learn the game if James wasn't going to teach in the game? Kanan had to teach in the game. Or your mama. But your mama couldn't last in the dope game. That's facts. She was slinging dope out of a daycare. 0 sales. Police was called. Kanan was trying to be a better father. I'm sorry. He had to kill Shine because guess what? James was manipulating Shine into believing that going legit is the thing to do. No, you are a Stark. You got dope in your blood. You need to be on the block. Mm-hmm. But going off a movie by, he's dead on with this. He definitely manipulated the hell out of Tariq, turned him into the son, and that was probably the biggest manipulation that he could get was force feeding Tariq into believing that James St. Patrick wasn't shit. So I have to agree that Kane is probably the bigger manipulator out of the two when it comes to their interaction with each other. But there's always that gray area. What the hell happened? What made someone please give me a scenario where James St. Patrick had to tell on Kanan to get him about the game? I need to know. I gotta try to piece that together. That's the only way I can know why these two were going at it like this. Breeze and Kanan killed his dad and he found out about that. And that's why he got him locked up. What up, Jeremiah? Kanan killed Buck 20. Yeah. But that wasn't intentional. I mean, they went over there and they kind of messed that up. They kind of messed that one up. They wasn't even supposed to be over there. But he didn't have no father figure. He ain't know. He ain't know. We gotta blame that on Raquel though. I mean, we gotta blame it on him for doing the shooting. But come on, man, Raquel, you gotta tell your son not to be involved in none of that stuff, man. Kanan over there catching bodies. He don't need to catch no bodies. Come on, Kanan. I believe Kanan strong arm Ghost and Tommy back in the day. See, I always thought. See, Cheryl, you're on to something, but that's what I'm trying to figure out because the way they made it seem was that Kanan was the OG and basically looking out for them, like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put you on in the game. And I know they were mentioning competition, but the reason I don't think competition would be an issue is unless Ghost was like, hey, I got me another connect. I'm gonna start dealing with them for a lower price. Because if they're copping from copping from Kanan, there's no reason to be any competition because they're gonna be the little guys. They just gonna be up under me. And whenever I get the work, I give them the work. I front them, they go sell, they bring me back my cut, they keep theirs. So it wouldn't be any competition. It had to be something personal. Maybe he found out that they killed his dad, but if he knew that Kanan killed his dad, then he wouldn't be fucking with Kanan once Kanan got out of jail. You know what I mean? So this is hey. This is telling me one thing. This nigga James St. Patrick was a bitch back in the day. This nigga James was salty. This nigga James was kind of lame. We need to know why James. No. I need someone to find why James. Why did James get Kanan locked up? That's what we need. That's the question of the day. Maybe it's between Ghost and Kanan for the distro. Kanan didn't have the same vision as Ghost. Wait a minute. Wait. What? See, I got to do a timeline now. I mean, of course, we know that they're gonna change things up. All right. How long was Kanan in jail? How? All right. Let's do a timeline, y'all. All right. Kanan start. He was a fellow drug dealer and Ghost's former mentor turned arch rival. He was set up by Ghost and Tasha to go to prison for 10 years. All right. So 10 years. That was 2014. Damn, my dog was only out for 4 years. So he died at 33. No, is that 33 or 43? 25. Okay, he died at 43. He got out at 39. So he went in at 29 years old. So he went to jail in 2004. Ghost went to jail in 2004. Let's see how old James was in 2004. Character, St. Patrick family. James was born in 80. So 2004. James was 24 years old snitching. All right. So at 24, James St. Patrick was not a kid. James St. Patrick was a full-blown adult. And we watched James St. Patrick for 6 seasons, not knowing this whole. Well, I knew the whole time, and I was calling him a snitch back in the day. But this nigga was 24 years old. What did he tell on James for? What did him and Tasha? Whoa. See? When did James get into the? When did he get Club Truth? I know he didn't get it at 24 years old. You see what I'm saying? We need to fill in that background because if Kanan was on from 93 to 2004, he may have fell off a little bit. I'm sure his mom didn't have the projects anymore. Somebody got something. I needed a James St. Patrick fan. Somebody need to step up and explain this to me. This nigga was 24 years old telling, setting people up to go to jail. James St. Patrick. Jeremiah said Ghost wanted to go legit and move past the streets. Kanan was in the way. But James didn't want to go legit till when? Like season 3, season 4. He was still moving dope. So 10 years later, he still didn't go legit. He wanted to go legit in 2004. Why in 2014 he was still slanging drugs and killing people? You can't tell me it's 10 years to go legit now. You make a couple $100,000, you pay off that condo, hey, you good to go. They got the penthouse paid for, cash. He the man in the streets. What was James doing for 10 years? He couldn't have been trying to go legit. So James was still in the dope game for those 10 years when Kanan was locked up because that's how he got Truth. And he didn't even own Truth at that point. He was just working for the man. Uh-oh. DeMarcus said Tasha convinced Ghost to set up Kanan to get him out the way. Now that's plausible because she wanted him to be the biggest dope dealer. But so James, he don't like rats. Tommy don't like rats. Tommy know that James and Tasha set up Kanan to get him up out of here, still hung with those rats for 10 years. Tasha took the stand and told on Tommy, still hung with that rat. James St. Patrick and Thomas Egan, he is no longer Tommy, he is Thomas Egan until he can prove us different in season 2 of Force. Thomas Egan, he don't give a fuck about rats. As long as it's a family member, he don't give a damn. You rat piece. Why you ain't do that to James? Oh, yeah, you did try to shoot James in the back. That's right. Why you ain't try that to Tasha? Why you didn't want Keisha to die when we know she was about to be telling? You see what I'm saying? We start to expose these characters. They all have flaws just like we do. Damn. This is deep. Shout out to MovieBot. Shout out to MovieBot, because I would have never even thought about going back to talk about Kanan, but shout out to MovieBot. So let me ask you guys this real quick. Knowing what we know now, when you go back and watch the original Power, do you believe that the St. Patricks are really like that? When you go back and look at Tommy, my bad, Thomas and Jamie, yeah, Thomas and Jamie, it's no longer Tommy and Ghost, it's Thomas and Jamie. When you look at Thomas and Jamie, they really ain't like that. I'm not making none of this up. We just going off of what the show has showed us. Shakara said Tommy didn't know that Ghost and Tasha set up Kanan, but he found out. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Was it 6 o'clock? Bad. Yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Right now, we just talking about Kanan and realizing that James St. Patrick. It's a scratching your head moment with this character. We know about Kanan's growing up. We know that Kanan was manipulated. He didn't stand a chance. But it seems that Jamie and Thomas were good kids. Interesting. But hey, man, don't nobody break a character down like Mo break a character down, because Mo break a character down how a character's supposed to be broken down. See, we thinking outside the box here. Now, I rock with all the characters. Once the season starts, I'm going to be giving the positive to the characters. But right now, we're trying to figure out. We got 2 dead brothers who we both thought one was actually the criminal and the other one was the good guy. But in realization, one was a fatherless child that didn't stand a chance in the world. Another one grew up in a good family household, got into the game and started telling, became the biggest dope dealer and got killed by his own son. After years and years of manipulation, years and years of being an asshole. James St. Patrick from the grave is such a bad father. He even wrote a letter because he knew his son would go to jail. Look at your stupid ass. I knew your dumb ass would end up in here. What kind of father would do that? Not only will I leave you a will, but it's going to be a will. Will you graduate? Will you get the club? Will you get the money? James, he put all these stipulations in the way because he didn't believe in Tariq. He really doesn't want Tariq to have anything. But guess what? James, this bitch ass, from the grave, paid for Paz's son, Jayara, to get an education. What kind of fucking father is that? That ain't your nephew. That ain't no kin to you. And we over here talking about Kanan being the bad pa. Nigga, what? They equally trash. Golly, Kanan didn't have a chance. Jeremiah just told me that you were trying to go legit, but we just debunked that because from the age of 24 to the time that my nigga got out of jail, you were still in the dope game. The first thing we seen from James St. Patrick was a nigga killing somebody. Speaking a little bit of Spanish to the girl, she had the bandana on, couldn't see nothing. James let her go. James let her go. I'm loving this. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm loving this. We just get on here and we talk about and we start exposing these characters. We need to start looking at James St. Patrick a little bit more. Now, if there's anybody that wants to go ahead and try to challenge me on this, oh, I got a lot of stuff to prove that James St. Patrick ain't really who he say he is. He is Jamie. You know what Angela called him? Jamie, because she knew who the innocent crybaby ass nigga was in high school. Jamie. Fucking ghost. Man, you don't get up out of here. You ain't ghost, man. We know who you are, James. And it took your death to expose you. But guess what? We had to do it. We didn't want to do it. We had to do it. We had to do it. They said, Mo, we want the truth. Who was manipulating who? I said, man, Movie By had it right. Kanan was the master manipulator. But when we look at James St. Patrick as a character, he manipulated more people. More people than Donald Trump did on January 6th. Kanan is just a fatherless child, an innocent kid caught up in the game. His dope dealing queen pin mama wouldn't let him go live his life and pursue his goals. Everybody gets on Monet. They always say, Monet's a bad mom. She didn't want Diana to go to school. Why y'all don't get that same flack to Raquel Thomas, who didn't let Kanan go to school in Virginia with his little cousins? Why? Why? But you know me, I'm not biased and I'm going to call it out. Damn it. James St. Patrick might be the worst character in the Power universe. Now, I fuck with James. Don't get me wrong. James is one of my favorite characters, but he might be one of the worst characters of all time. When you look at all the backstabbings he did, when you look at the word loyalty, and we know that we can't put that on that boy Thomas's name anymore because of everything he did, we got to start looking at Thomas and realizing that, hey, you wasn't a bad guy. Maybe you were right to end up with Kanan because James St. Patrick wasn't loyal to you at all. Remember, James tried to get him about the game also. James pulled a gun on his son. James called the police on his ex-wife. Yeah, James St. Patrick was a dirtbag also. And we're not going to let that fly. We love you to death, but we're not going to let that fly. No. Although Tasha cheated on you first, we not going to let that slide because you took care of Paz's son. He ain't your nephew. He ain't no kin to you. And you paid for this nigga's school. And he ain't even had to do nothing. Paz ain't had to give you none. This nigga Tariq got to get a goddamn 3.8, graduate with honors. He got to do all kinds of bullshit just to get a couple of dollars off. Even Yaz ain't had no money lined up. But guess what? JR got an education. Now JR trying to lock your son up. That's how bad of a dad James St. Patrick is. Even from the grave, he is fucking over his own family. That is some ruthless shit right there. James is worse than... Hey, what James is doing right now is almost as worse as what Kanan did to Sean. We don't even know if Sean was really his kid or not. We know that Kanan was getting the M-word molested when he was a kid. Old girl down the hallway was fucking with Kanan. Kanan never stood a chance. We don't even know if that baby's Kanan's. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of shit that we don't know with Kanan because Kanan didn't even know who his own daddy was. His daddy police, and now he got a stepdaddy named Unique. He also had a stepdaddy that was gay by the name of Defcon. This kid didn't have a chance. I always say it. Shout out to Iron Panther. As a fatherless child, an unarmed man. He didn't have a chance. Nah, Jeremiah, we can't believe that. Hey, y'all always tell me, Mo, they ain't snitching. We ain't seen no paper. Y'all need to, hey, we seen the paperwork for Howard. We seen that Howard was the father to Kanan. 99.8%. We ain't seen no paperwork on Sean. Kanan, we ain't seen Kanan shoot one hoop. Did Kanan shoot any basketballs in Raising Kanan? Did we see him shooting any hoops? Because they said that Sean was a hooper. Kanan ain't no hooper. Kanan is a hand-to-hand transaction. Kanan is take that pack, get that money, make that, you know what I'm saying? Make that sale. That's what Kanan is. Kanan in the streets getting it in. Pop, pop, pop. Kanan ain't no goddamn driver. Kanan ain't hooping. We don't know if Sean is his kid or not, man. We ain't gonna say it's his kid. No, fuck that. Hell no. We not doing that over here. Mm-hmm. We not doing that. We didn't even know that Zeke was we didn't know Zeke was Monet's kid until Diana figured out. We needed that paperwork to figure it out, right? That's what they always. I'm just saying, Jeremiah. That's what they always say to me. They always come to me and say, "Mo, they ain't got no paperwork." I'm like, damn, we need paperwork for everything. All right. Nah, Unique is Kanan's stepdad. He about to be in the house. You remember Raquel was in there, shot up. My nigga Unique came in there. Like, what's up, Rock? Yeah, you remember he came in there, picked her up off the ground, and then the police showed up. Oh, my bad, that wasn't the police. That was Raquel's baby daddy and Kanan's father. Remember they showed up and they like, damn, what we got going on here? This is a love triangle. We got two dope dealers and a crooked cop and a kid. Yeah, that's some dynamics I ain't trying to deal with. Yeah, I want to see Unique actually teach Kanan some stuff. I know we getting a little off of the thing, but I'm only gonna be on here for an hour. I got like 5 minutes. We got some free time. Dre says Symphony's Kanan's dad. Nah, Symphony came around after. Hopefully, my dog. I mean, they got to let the light skinned brother survive, man. It's not too many of us, and when we do get on shows, man, they be killing us quick as hell. Hopefully, my dog Symphony stays away. I know I was calling him Symphony at one point because he was kind of phony, but hope he stays away. Oh, that's another thing. Symphony was the good male figure in Kanan's life. Remember, architecture. He was actually teaching Kanan shit, but guess what? His mama ran Symphony off. Kanan never ever stood a chance, man. It sucks. It sucks. But that's the way life is sometimes. Sometimes the cards that are dealt to you, they terrible. You can't even shuffle them up. But man, it is what it is, man. I'm Mo.J. We got more of these to come in. Shout out to MovieBot. You know what I'm saying? I like these tweets. You know what I mean? He does a well job. He puts together good storylines, you know. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. But me, I'm gonna tell the story behind the story. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm about to get on out of here. We about to go to Longhorns. You know, I'm about to get me a nice steak. I ain't gonna lie to you. Ooh, we might give me a margarita too. You know what I'm saying? Not too much because I got to drive, but just enough to, you know what I'm saying, get a little buzz. I ain't got the nieces and nephew, you know what I'm saying? Take my sister. Sharice gonna be there, her and her husband, my brother, my mom, dad, you know what I'm saying? We about to get together, do a little big real quick, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully it ain't too much. If it go over like $300, I gotta tell them, hey, yo, whoa, whoa. I'm only spending 300 now. I got this, you know what I'm saying? I got this Cash App card. Nah, but manipulation definitely goes to Kanan. This was good. James is just as bad. Shout out to James St. Patrick. Of course, I don't want to see him come back on the show. I mean, get your money, but it wouldn't be good if you bring him back in like season 6. He faked it. That would be corny and lame to me. I'd probably stop watching it, to be honest with you. But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, support the channel. Cash App's at the bottom of the screen. I might do another live tonight. I'll keep you guys posted. But if not, tomorrow night. Oh, matter of fact, after this, 8 p.m. Eastern, go to Pretty Girl Loves Trap content. Her and Brillo got them a podcast, the thorough ones. They got that tonight, so I'll probably be in the chat listening to that. So make sure you subscribe to those two. You know what I'm saying? My brother and my sister over there. Shout out to my girl, Pretty Girl Loves Trap content on her anniversary. And she just got the partner program. So make sure you subscribe over there. We're going to get her 1,000 subscribers. And man, hey, enjoy your weekend. Remember, be safe. Always have a plan. And don't be like Kanan. Don't be like Kanan. Don't be like James. If you got to pick a character to be like, uh, Don't be like anybody in the Power universe. Just put it like that. But hit that like button, subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out, y'all.